Our next speaker is Max Mednik. Max is an entrepreneur. After graduating from Stanford, he founded AMA Capital, which is a quantitative hedge fund headquartered here in LA, and he's currently pursuing an MBA at UCLA. In addition to that, he's quite passionate about light and lighting design, and is going to present to us an analysis of the use of light in rock and roll concerts.
Thanks for coming, guys. Those were awesome speeches. It's going to be hard to follow. You can advance. My name is Max Mednik, and I'm a rockaholic. It all started with this guy. When I saw my first Dave Matthews concert, I was mesmerized by the lighting and completely hooked. I'm not a professional lighting designer. I'm an entrepreneur and a student of lighting, and I'm here to talk to you about 2 rock lighting techniques that I believe create the rock star. Now, owning your own house, getting your mortgage foreclosed on is so 2008. Rock and roll is a true American dream. Now, why do we all work so hard? To make a lot of money? No, the reason why I do it is to become a rock star, like this guy. See, a rock star is a symbol, a legend, the center of attention. Now, lighting guys rarely crave to have the center of attention, and so a rock star also symbolizes talent, recognition, and success beyond all odds. It doesn't matter what your goal is, as long as you're ambitiously working hard to achieve it. You're trying to fulfill your own identity, to become a rock star in your own way. And you don't even need the talent or the training, as evidenced by this guy. This is the YouTube, let me make my voice sound like T-Pain. There's an app for that generation. I mean, 3% of Twitter servers are dedicated to this guy. So being a rock star is sort of this generation's way of being a hero. I mean, who captures our emotions and attention in the media? The lives of rock stars, of pop stars. Now, what does all this have to do with lighting? It's actually really simple and is the reason why I love going to rock concerts so much ever since that Dave Matthews concert. Lighting is what creates the rock star, even if she's a freak of nature who wears bubbles and cardboard. What else sets the mood so vividly is the hundreds of moving lights, the multi-chromatic, disco-esque displays of grandeur. I mean, the megawatt speakers, the stadium seating, the over-the-top costumes and acrobatics certainly play a role. I mean, who doesn't want to watch Cirque du Soleil while you pound your head to Megadeth? But I would argue that without the visual elements, without the lighting, there would be little reason to attend a concert over listening to a recording. And as the artist James Turrell said, light is not so much something that reveals as is itself the revelation. Now there are 2 core techniques that rock concert lighting designers use to create the rock star: synesthesia and interactivity. And the reason I'm talking to you all tonight about this, even if you're not rock concert lighting designers, is because I believe these 2 techniques can be equally powerful when used appropriately in traditional theater as well as urban and architectural applications. Now, the first technique, synesthesia, basically refers to the mixing of senses that occurs when you get multiple inputs simultaneously into different senses that somehow interact with each other, or when stimulation of one sense leads to an experience in a different sense. For example, if I tell you that I hate your loud shirt or your prickly laugh annoys me, those are cross-sensory metaphors. In the same way, watching lighting synchronized to music is a cross-sensory experience. When rock concerts use their high-octane technology appropriately, it serves to supplement the show by being synesthetic, in a sense perfectly in sync with the music and dancing to the beat. Jonathan Goldstein, the LD for Rihanna, says that for her, he aimed to create a show that was an edgy show with ups and downs that were emphasized by and perfectly in sync with the lighting. It's similarly in this rave where the combination of sound and lights and visuals are critical to establishing the mood. This same technique can be equally used just as well in theater and other applications. In the theater, in the next slide, you'll see a show that I worked on where we used high-impact lighting techniques to motivate emotional transitions and to highlight gradual changes throughout the show, in a sense being in sync with the action on stage. Even in architecture and urban applications, there are plenty of places in public buildings that feature background music or certain environments that aim to inspire or educate. Lighting that's somehow in sync with the environment and maybe slowly pulsates the music or somehow keeps your focus can help the building communicate its messages and its intended environment successfully. Now, all of us know that rock concerts feature crazy disco-esque lighting. Other than for synesthesia, why do this? Well, the second reason is to create a sense of interactivity and in fact to highlight the true star of the show, you, the audience. People go to rock concerts to be rock stars or get as close as possible. Girls go crazy when they're in the front 10 rows and can breathe the same air as the star or be lucky enough to catch a beat of his sweat. No matter where you are in the crowd, just being present at the event makes you feel special, exclusive, and just one step away from being on stage. That's the magic that I felt watching Dave Matthews. And it's the lighting that creates all of these illusions. If you look very carefully at any stage, you'll see hundreds of moving lights that are aimed away from the stage and focused on the audience. In fact, more than half the time that moving lights are on, they're usually shining up, out, or towards the audience or the sky. They're spending less than half their time illuminating the star, and the majority creating an environment for the audience, and in fact, often putting the audience in the spotlight. In this way, the audience is the attraction, the star. This same technique works just as well in theater, where lighting can be used creatively to perhaps light the house where the audience sits, or maybe their feet, maybe changing throughout the show. Architectural and urban designers can use lighting effects that bring to focus the people in the spaces. For example, imagine putting a spotlight on every person that enters a building, and imagine their path being lit up as they walk. Imagine the doors they touch coming to life. In a sense, the building welcoming each person directly and personally. The rock star and the rock concert designer have a lot to teach us. The lessons of synesthesia and interactivity that they have pioneered can take us a long way, and together we can bring them to the rest of the world and make everyone feel like a rock star. Thank you.